Welcome in, NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we have the latest on Saquon Barkley. We will explain the situation with Saquon Barkley of a potential holdout and if he is traded, where he could go. Also, how did we get to this point? We'll go over all of that coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, though, I want you guys to weigh in and get this show started. Will Saquon Barkley play for the New York Football Giants this season? Tell me what you think in the comment section. Y for yes, in for no. Will Saquon play for the Giants or not? Tell me what you think. Y for yes, in for no. So, the New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley has not ruled out the possibility of sitting out entirely for the 2023 NFL season. What does that exactly mean? How did we get here where Saquon is talking about this idea of just simply not playing at all? Well, that's what we're here for, to catch you up to speed. Saquon Barkley, speaking to the media over the weekend, had this to say. For me, it's like we got until July 17th. That's the tag deadline, by the way, for extension. They can say what they want. We can say what we want, just one day at a time, one day at a time. Now that day comes, and I have to sit down and have that conversation. Then I will sit down and have that conversation. I don't think Saquon Barkley wants to leave the New York Football Giants, but you can understand his frustration of not having a deal. And we've seen guys all across the National Football League at the running back position not getting that money that they have wanted, that they've desired to get. And Saquon Barkley, another one of these guys that's just sitting here and hoping he gets something and not being on the same page with the organization, and the guaranteed money being the issue at hand here. More from Saquon on where things stand. I feel like there's been some things out there that's been misleading. You know, obviously the sources or the stories that have been out there, but I've been public. I came out public, and I've been open about it. I said I want to be a Giant for life. This is where I want to be, and at the end of the day, it's all about respect. That's really what this is. So Saquon didn't like the leaks, and you can understand that. And he wants to be paid. He wants to be respected, wants to be a Giant. Sounds like simple thing, but obviously there's a long way to go to still get to that point. What is your one-word reaction to the Saquon Barkley holdout here? What do you think? Give me one word to describe it all. This is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Get your votes in. Tell me one way or the other. What is your one-word reaction to the Saquon Barkley holdout? All right, so let's tell you 4 things you need to know on this situation. The conflicts between Saquon and the New York Football Giants start with the issue of guaranteed money, of Saquon wanting a certain amount there that he wants to be able to get no matter what, and the Giants not necessarily being on the same page there. He has not signed the franchise tag, which would pay him $10.1 million for this season. And so with that, he will not be at mandatory minicamp this week. Because he hasn't signed the franchise tag, he is technically a free agent, so he doesn't necessarily have to be at mandatory minicamp. But if he were to sign said franchise tag, then he would be required to be at mandatory minicamp. He claims that he's never wanted to reset the running back market. When it comes to money-wise, that this is not a deal for him to, kind of reset and be the highest-paid running back. That's not what he's trying to do. That he's just trying to secure things for himself and his future. With that said, here's a look at the most guaranteed money for running backs around the league. Christian McCaffrey at $30 million in San Francisco. Derrick Henry in Tennessee at $25.5. Bijan Robinson, who the Falcons selected in the top 10 of the draft, coming in at $21 million. Alvin Kamara at $17.8, and Nick Chubb at $17.1. The contract projection that is out there for Saquon Barkley at this point in time looks to be around a 3-year deal worth $42 million, with 28 of that guaranteed. That would give him the second most guaranteed money of any running back out there on the market at this point, with an average about $14 million per year. So we want to ask you, should the Giants trade Saquon Barkley? What do you think? Type T for trade, type K for keep. What's your thoughts on the idea of keeping Saquon Barkley around or not in New York? Tell us in the comments section. T for trade, K for keep. We are selling rookie jerseys from across the National Football League. Bijan Robinson, who we mentioned there, his jersey's on sale, as is C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Christian Gonzalez, and many others. We have them available for you at chatsports.com/NFL jersey. Father's Day coming up just around the corner. And you may be saying to yourself, I'm still looking for a gift for Dad for Father's Day. Or maybe you're a dad and you're nudging your son or daughter saying, like, hey, I need one of those jerseys. Well, now's your chance to get one. Chatsports.com/NFL jersey. Get yours today while supplies last. Look, these guys, you're hoping they're the face of your franchise for a long time. Now's the chance to get one of these jerseys and maximize the amount of time they're going to be representing your favorite team. Get yours today, chatsports.com/NFL jersey. Saquon Barkley, he's faced a few injuries over his short career in the National Football League, but nonetheless, he's still been a two-time Pro Bowler as recently as last season in 2022, as well as 2018 when he was the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year. A number 2 overall pick out of Penn State back in 2018. It feels like we've known Saquon Barkley for a long time because when he was coming out of Penn State, he was all that in a bag of chips. He was expected to have a brilliant career. When he's been healthy, he has been brilliant. And he's coming off a year last year where he had a career season with, in 16 games played, nearly 300 carries for 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, averaged 4.4 yards per carry, and also was fantastic as a receiver as well with 57 catches for 338 yards. Saquon Barkley was great last year. If ultimately the Giants were to move on from Saquon Barkley, there's 5 teams in particular that we think here on NFL Daily would have specific interest in Saquon Barkley. The Baltimore Ravens, and it sounds like that there's questions about J.K. Dobbins' future there in Baltimore, so he could slide in right away and be a great fit to play alongside Lamar Jackson and Todd Monken's new offense there in Baltimore. The Kansas City Chiefs are always looking for weapons around Patrick Mahomes. They already have Pacheco there. You pair those two up together, all of a sudden you have maybe one of the best backfields in the league. When you say Miami, you could be talking Saquon Barkley potentially. They're looking for a primary ball carrier. Obviously, there's been the rumblings there about Dalvin Cook, but if you can't get him, maybe Saquon's an option. The Minnesota Vikings looking for a replacement for Dalvin Cook. And then the New Orleans Saints, who are looking for help for their new quarterback, Derek Carr. Those are the 5 teams in particular we're watching for. What team should trade for Saquon Barkley? What comes to mind of a team specifically, whether it was somebody we talked about or somebody we didn't talk about today that you think should trade for Saquon Barkley? Tell us in the comment section. Name a team that comes to mind that you think should make a move for the New York Giants running back. Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live. You can find me there talking about all things across the National Football League, and I'll see you next time right here on NFL Day.